when you think about Howie Roseman, what he's going to go through, there's a lot of good players that he's going to have to let go.
Yeah.
A lot of good.
All right, so a couple things from an Eagles standpoint. No practice today, like I mentioned. They have their first preseason game a week from today against the Jets here in Philadelphia. Will be the first one. And we'll get into last night's game, by the way, in a second, guys. But so here's the way the cut downs work. So August 16th would be the first cut down. They go from 90 to 85. Then August 23rd, 85 to 80. And then the big one, August 30th, 80 to 53. Barrett, let me ask you about that. I don't mean early in your career, but I mean, later when maybe things weren't, 100% that you were going to make it. How nerve-wracking was that stretch up until that last cut? Did you ever have one of those moments?
Oh, heck yeah. I had a bunch of those moments. I was in I told you I was in with the Broncos up in Denver and sitting back, and I'm actually at the house. We practiced the day before, and we were off the day, and it was the last cut day. And the cut time was 4:00. So at 4:00, I'm sitting back it's like 3:50, 3:55, something like that. Then all of a sudden, I get a phone call from the stadium. Like, I know they're not about to cut me right now. They are really about to cut me 10 minutes before cut date is over with. And they're going to cut me. He said, bro, they told me to come in and said, bro, you're the last guy on the list. We were trying to see if we can work it out. You can stay. We just can't do it. You know how this business is. I said, but the coach sat there and he told me, you know what I'm saying, that I was going out because I was just talking to the GM at the time. And so I turned around and I said, look, man, this is real messed up because the head coach told me to buy a house and everything else. And I went in, registered my kids from school. My daughter came up. She's only 2 weeks old. So my wife had to fly up with her. And she's only 2 weeks old. So how much of a problem it was for them to come up here, get the kids in school and everything else. And she just had a baby and everything. You gonna tell me you gonna cut me now? I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed. In fact, you know what I did? I went into the place where they sell where they have the slips, the FedEx slips.
Mm-hmm.
And I grabbed a stack of FedEx slips and I took and FedEx overnight all my stuff back to my house. It cost like $3,800. And I FedExed all my stuff back. And they were like, well, why would you do that? I said, well, why would you guys cut me and tell me to buy a house and then you knew you were going to cut me? Well, we didn't know we were going to cut you. I was like, well, I didn't know that you was going to cut me either, so I FedExed all my stuff back. Well, you're going to have to pay that back. Okay. I'm going to pay you back. Right. I'm going to pay you back. Hold your breath on that. You know what I'm saying? And when you do breathe, that'll probably be when the check is in the mail. Okay.
Wait. You had to pay back who?
I had to pay the Broncos back for FedExing.
Oh, so you use their account to FedEx your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Smart move.
Yeah.
Did they ever they didn't ever try to get it off you, did they?
Well, they called like twice and asked when I was sending money. It's like, man, I'm not sending you anything.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
long story long, man, you guys, you flat out just lied to me. Had my family come up and everything else, and then you're gonna cut me. Then after I cleared waivers 4 hours later. So I cleared waivers around 8:00. Don't you know I had to go catch a plane at 8:30 to Green Bay?
Oh my goodness.
Because as soon as I cleared waivers, they picked me up. Green Bay picked me up right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Said, hey, we need you to get here. We have a game in 2 days. I'm like, what? They played like a Thursday night or something. I'm like, what? So I jumped on a plane, had to leave my family there, leave my family in Denver with a 2-week-old, 2.5-week-old baby, 2 kids, packing the rest of the house up. She had to do all that stuff herself. So what I did is I flew her best friend and her cousin up to help her out while I was in Green Bay playing in Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't think a lot of people understand the backwork mechanisms of players who are cut and scramble to go somewhere else. And, a lot of them are single, but a lot of them have families, especially young families. and they just have to roll. You know, when a new organization tells you we need you here in 24, 48 hours, you're basically telling your family, you guys, we're going to do this, but you guys have to fend for yourselves until I get situated here. Yeah. And then you got to bring them there. You know, you think about how many players there are out there that have to go to 2 and 3 teams sometimes in 1 year. Think about that.
Exactly.
You know, now the team sets you up. Yeah, team sets you up with an apartment, right?
Yep. No.
Whenever they bring in.
No, they don't. You're in a hotel room for the first week. Then after that, you got to yourself.
Wait a minute. They don't even help you find an apartment?
When they tell you, you know, they advise you, you know what I'm saying? But they figure, you know, all right, the players will, you know, tell you like where they go and, you know, how they can do stuff, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, they try to help you a little bit, but, you know, it's not really help. You know, you fend on your own.
I thought it was just a given that every team has somebody designated in the organization, because every team has a contact of realtors. Okay, they have a contact of realtors. So I thought you would have somebody designated that knows all the area departments, the townhouses, whatever you want. You know, where they could call somebody. Hey, I got a player coming in. Can you get them set up here? They don't help you do that,
bro. They put you in a hotel for a week. They'll pay for it for a week. After that week, you got to fend for your own, bro.
As much as money as the NFL has, that's how they treat players.
Right, but they feel as though they're paying you a nice amount of money that you can find your own stuff.
That's ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's ridiculous that a coach can even say that to me, and I took it as his word because I ain't got no reason to think he would lie to me. But he turns around, he says that to me. So right now I'm thinking I'm cool. You know, my family's cool. I got my kids enrolled with school. They were supposed to start school the next day. It was like on Tuesday. You know, they're starting school on Tuesday. The cut day was on the cut day was Monday. They supposed to start school on Tuesday. After the cut date, it was like maybe cut time was at 4:00 in the afternoon. I got cut at 3:50.
Ugh.
I cleared waivers at 7:50. I got a call from Green Bay at 8:00. We got you a ticket for 8. It was either 8:45, 8:30, 9:00, because I was right around the corner from the airport where I was. So I couldn't even really pack. I had to really just grab some clothes, some underwear, you know, just for a couple days.
Wow. And
go jump on the plane and fly there. And I was in practice the next day. I woke up and I was in practice the next day preparing for a game, giving me, you know, the playbook and all that stuff. They gave me playbook, all that stuff. When I landed, they came pick me up from the airport, gave me my playbook, told me to look over it. I'll see you at practice. I didn't even know what practice was, bro. The guy came, where the stadium was. They came and got me from the hotel at 7:30 in the morning. Went to the stadium.
And then you have to later ship, you have to pay to ship all your own stuff wherever you are?
Yes. Dude,
the team doesn't even pay for that?
No. I didn't even pack up my stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't even pack up the stuff in my locker. I still had stuff in my locker with Denver. There was stuff still in my locker in Denver.
Oh, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. Yeah, Sills checking in on this. Yeah, I remember. You know, you see it in the movies. I remember in Invincible, right?
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg's playing Vince Papale, and he's sitting in a dorm room, and he's looking under the door for footsteps. Like that day when you're waiting for the Turk, and it's like you're panicked every time somebody walks past your dorm room,
bro.
That's you're gonna get the knock on the door.
My second year, it's my third year. My third year. It was the second year at Lehigh, but it was my third year. I had a roommate who actually ended up being my guard, my right guard, Jerry Kraft. Jerry Kraft. We're sitting in bed, and he was doing the same thing. We're laying in bed, and he was looking at the door. Because we were off that day. We were off the day the Turk was supposed to come. We were looking at the door, and he's looking down, and he's watching, shadows go by.
That's the worst.
But hold on, he has a Desert Eagle in his hand, and dude knocked on the door.
For people who don't know, what's a Desert Eagle?
A Desert Eagle's a gun. It's like a 45 or something, like a 50 caliber, something like that. I'm talking about. Had bullets about this big in it, bro. A handgun. He's sitting there in his bed. Whoever's knocking on my door, either stop playing me or get away from my door. I'm gonna blow a hole in the door.
Jeez.
Jeez. Yes. Yes.
Were players just messing with him? Is that what was going on?
It was Richard Cooper. Hey, ho, Jerry. We call him Creamy. Oh, Creamy, I'm just playing, Creamy.
Dude, that is not cool.
That's not good,
not
man.
cool at all.
That's not good, man.
Not
But you
funny
know,
either.
just to
You
add to
deserve
what-
an ass kicking for that.
Right,
really.
exactly.
But,
So,
but
Cooper opened the door and said, oh, man, I was just playing with you, bro. Don't play like that. He said, well, what are you doing with a gun? Man, give me that gun. So Coop went and got the gun from him. He said, give me the keys to your car. Took the gun and put it back in his car.
Damn.
my goodness. Hey, but just to add to what Dan Celio was talking about, the Turk is the worst person in the NFL. See, Turk has to deliver the bad news to players.
Right.
But the Turk is only doing what the coaching staff has told him to do, or
the GM.
The CEO and the GM has told him to do. The Turk is just basically the go-between. He doesn't make the decisions. He's given a list. Go to this room, go to this player, tell him to come to the office and bring the playbook.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. The Turk gets a lot of bad rep.
Yeah, they're just the messenger. Yeah,
that's all he is.
Yeah, and you saw it in Hard Knocks. It's heartbreaking, man.
Bro, it's the worst thing ever. And just like when you think about Howie Roseman, what he's going to go through, there's a lot of good players that he's going to have to let go.
Yeah,
a lot of good players. I was just sitting back thinking about Go ahead. What was you gonna say?
No, go ahead, Barry. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, a guy like Britton Covey. And I know we're gonna talk, go by positions and everything a little later on. But Britton Covey, I envision this guy being the next, Wes Walker. He's gonna be that type of player. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna make a squad, start off being a kick returner, and work his way into a slot receiver position and be dynamic. You know what I'm saying? As far as being a big playmaker that you can always get the ball to. In fact, Covey would be perfect with a guy like, everybody would be good with Brady, but I mean, Brady would take his career to another level. That's how good this kid is and how good he looks in practice. But the chance of him making a squad are slim to none because I think they're only going to keep 5 receivers. And that's only because they got to have so many linebackers, because the different ways in which they're going to bring the linebacker position over with rush in, defensive end type of linebackers. Then you have the regular linebacker, depth linebackers like the Mike linebacker and the Jack linebacker who plays, the actual linebacker position. But you got like the Sam and the Will. It might be a defensive lineman. It might be a linebacker-esque type of player. You know what I'm saying? Hassan Reddick or maybe a Sweat type of player. Really depends on what they're running. So you got to carry extra linebackers in, and those linebackers usually play special teams. So how do you have a guy like Covey that makes the team just because he's a great kickoff returner?
Exactly.
But he also has skills at the wide receiver position. He has the skill to be there.
Yeah, I saw like 3 plays from him yesterday. I know it's practice, I get it and all that, but where he just made, this was as a receiver, not as a return guy, where great footwork. I mean, it feels like a guy they're going to try and sneak on the practice squad and somebody grabs him. Yep. It kind of feels like that.
Exactly.
That's the way it's going to shake out.
Exactly. Because I mean,
let's look at it then. Yeah.
You got a guy like Jalen Reagor, who may not deserve to be on the field from his past 2 years. But I will say this, he is having a way better camp. He's looking like an NFL wide receiver right now. He looks the part right now. He's doing things and he's making catches. He's kind of showing people that he is a wide receiver. But you got a guy like him will make the squad just because he was a first-round draft choice. Is he better at being a receiver than Britton Covey? I think they're tit for tat right now. Who brings more return game? Covey brings more return game, but Covey was a free agent.
Yeah,
you got Jalen Reagor is a first rounder. So I mean, it's such a shady business. You know what I'm saying? It's so shady, man.
I'll tell you what. Since you want to start, going through who's on the bubble, let me start because I'm willing to bet Barry's yearly salary that this guy is not making this roster this year.
Okay.
JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Now,
you're not really going out on are you going out on a limb there, Derek?
Here's the only reason I brought him up was because I'm looking at ESPN.com. You have every team, they have the depth chart, right?
Yeah.
JJ is, and I know they only have limited spaces. JJ is not even listed on the depth chart at wide receiver or tight end. You got Grant Calcaterra on the depth chart, and Tyree Jackson, who may start the season on the pup list.
I haven't heard his name once. I haven't heard his name once.
Not one time.
Barrett, did you even notice him at practice?
I couldn't even figure out what number he wore or how I even looked at. I never saw him line up at tight end.
Oof.
He's just faded away, man.
They have Jack Stoll. After Goddard, it's Jack Stoll, Tyree Jackson, Grant Calcaterra, no JJ. You look at the wide receivers.
Tyree's not even being able to start the season. He's going to be on the PUP list.
And then at wide receiver, they have 2, 4, 6, 8 wide receivers listed. He ain't listed on the wide receiver depth chart. They got people like Deion Kane, Brenton Covey. It's unbelievable. Who's the other one here? Carrick Wheatfall. Wheatfall. They don't even have them listed as they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Well, you know who's showing up a little bit?
I think it's done. It's finally done.
Lance Lenore.
Yeah.
Is somebody they like. You know, he's a big receiver. He isn't necessarily.
Did he play in the XFL, Barrett, or one of those leagues? He played or USFL. He played in something. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's why he's on the squad right now.
All right. Well, all right. Let's run through. Let's look at wideout. So we know. I think we could all agree. Brown, Smith, Pascal, Watkins. We're all in agreement, right? First 4, boom.
Right.
Easy.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Here's what it comes down to. Do 5 or 6 make it? How many make it? Now, let's throw everybody into the mix now. Reagor, Ward, Hightower. You mentioned Deion Kane, Covey, Devin Allen. I don't know if he's done anything. I haven't heard his name either at all.
He hasn't. He hasn't.
And a couple of the other guys.
Correct. Wheatfall.
And a couple other guys that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have let's see who else.
And Lance Lenore.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's a free agent. He's a free agent for Fresno State. He hasn't blown anything away. You don't see him in camp. You don't see him shining. You do see Lance Lenore flickering, but he's a veteran player, you know. So he should be okay. You know what I'm saying? He should be all right. But I doubt seriously if he makes the squad this year.
Will they keep 6?
Buffalo.
Do you think they'll keep 6 back?
No, I don't, because
5.
Like I said, the linebacker position. So I think they'll keep 5. All
right. So who's your 5th? Reagor. So that's it. It's just Reagor.
Reagor will be your 5th, and that means that like a guy like Greg Ward Jr. and John Hightower, 2 guys that they, you know, if they'd have kept 6, it'll be a battle between those 2, Greg Ward and John Hightower. Now, what's going on is Hightower has looked kind of impressive. He's done some things. You know, he's made some catches. He's beat some DBs. Greg Ward hasn't done enough. He just hasn't shined enough. But we know on the field, when given opportunity, he shows up.
Absolutely.
He shows up.
I think he'll get a job real quick if they cut him. I think somebody will sign him quickly.
We heard Jeff McClain, our friend Jeff McClain from the Philadelphia Inquirer, say a few days ago he thought John Hightower was not going to make this team.
Yep.
You know, because of the numbers game, you know.
Yep.
And, I don't know. I would love. I think based just on work ethic, productivity, even though it's been limited role every year he's been here, I think Greg Ward deserves to make this team. He is sure-handed. He works as hard as anybody else. He might get 20, 30 balls thrown to him a season, but he's always making a big catch. You know, whether it's a deep ball, whether it's a coffin corner type throw. We used to jokingly call him first down Greg. Most of his catches were for first downs. Every time he gets his hands on the football. Or touchdown. Every time he gets his hands on the ball, which is not that often. You know, I think just based on work, and obviously the first 4 are set. I think we agree the first 4 are set on this team.
Well, I think the first 5 are set.
Who's the 5th one? Who's your 5th one?
Reagor. I don't know why you guys keeping Reagor out of this. Reagor is
I think he's 100% on the team.
Rob's with you. He believes he's going to make the team. I'm on the bubble with Reagor.
Well, he should be on the bubble.
Yeah, I'm on the bubble with him.
But you look at the last 2 days, he's shown signs that he wants to be on the roster.
Okay.
Now, right, exactly.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Exactly. You know, what does that mean? It just means that he had 2 good practices. That's all that means.
It means he picked up his pace in a limited basis. See,
right.
That's not good enough as a former first-round pick. It's not good enough.
It's not.
You got to show it every day. You're supposed to be a leader, not a follower. Well, you're a first round pick.
Look at Taz, man. Taz said,
What?
"Rob, we need you to curse Reagor." You know how you put that thing on him? You put that root on
I'm
him.
telling you, man.
The Ellis Maloik.
Yeah.
Put that mojo on Reagor.
Right.
I don't think my mojo could even do it. I think he's, because of everything Barrett laid out, and because he's actually had a pretty good camp, I think he's cementing himself a job. And look, unless he looks awful the next 3 weeks, whatever, you know.
Well, the good thing is he'll be going against somebody other than our DBs.
Yeah, it's true.
When he's going to go, and we'll see what he can do against Miami and Cleveland. We'll see what he can do, because Cleveland has some really, really good DBs. You know, they have, I think, what's their Ward's one of the better.
Ward.
Yeah,
Denzel Ward. Yeah,
just got a big contract and everything. You know, I mean, can he show up against those guys? Can he? And this, you know, that's where a lot of these guys can shine. I mean, if you're Hightower, come on, Johnny boy, you got to make it happen. You know, you're 6'2", 190 pounds. You're probably 200 now. Can you use that frame and go up there and debo the ball? I want to see people go out there and catch like AJ Brown. He snatches the ball out there. He has strong hands. DBs are trying to knock it out. He grabs it. Once he's got it, man. He's not letting it go. And that's where Jalen Reagor, you know, really didn't get up to where he needed to be, because, you know, contested passes, the DB was winning every single time. So now he's changed a little bit. He's shown that he can go up there and catch it. Now we just see if he can continue. Can I see some consistency in his game? See how good he gets over the next 3 weeks.
I think Howie has passed the point where he would keep a player just to save face.
Yes.
I think the way this roster is constructed right now, I think it comes down to who is best suited to put on a uniform for us every Sunday, or be in a rotation. It's not just the 47, but the 53 to put on that uniform for us. I think the talent pool is so deep in so many positions that it's a luxury to have right now. And I think, you know, that he's not going to be browbeat into keeping a player just because from what we've seen over the past couple of years, it turned out to be a mistake in terms of where he was drafted.
All right.
That's the way I see it.
I hear you. I think the receiver position is really fascinating, the way this is going to shake out. So, you know, a little later we'll dig into the other spots on offense. Let's get a quick timeout. We'll come back. We're going to talk to Paul Domowich. We'll get Damo's take. Great piece today on Dick Vermeil and Wilbert Montgomery. D. Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, let's talk a little pro action restoration. If you have a home, if you have a business, if you have a property, and you go through the just awful experience of water, fire, smoke, mold damage, whatever the case may be, and you're not really sure who to turn to, they are the people to get in contact with. Pro Action is on call 24 hours, 7 days a week to assist. I've gone through it myself with my parents' house a few years back. Pro Action was there quickly. They cleaned the place up. The crew was professional, and the price was very reasonable. They're licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. Pro Action will work in conjunction with your insurance company. Again, it could be fire, it could be water, it could be smoke, it could be mold remediation, whatever the case may be. Or if you're not really sure, give them a call, get a consult. 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or reach out online at proactionrestoration.com. That's proactionrestoration.com.